Hadīth 1. Narrated Malik, we came to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and we were young men nearly of equal ages and we stayed with him for 20 nights. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, was a very kind man, and when he realized our longing for our families, he asked us about those whom we had left behind. When we informed him, he said, "Go back to your families and stay with them and teach them religion, and order them to do good deeds." The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, mentioned things some of which I remembered and some I did not. Then he said, "Pray as you have seen me praying, and when it is the time of prayer, one of you should pronounce the call, adhan, for the prayer, and the eldest of you should lead the prayer." Hadīth 2. Narrated Ibn Mas'ud, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The call for prayer, adhan of Bilal, should not stop any one of you from taking his suhoor, for he pronounces the adhan in order that whoever among you is praying the night prayer may return to eat his suhoor, and whoever among you is sleeping may get up, for it is not yet dawn, when it is like this." Yahya, the sub-narrator, stretched his 2 index fingers sideways. Hadīth 3. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Bilal pronounces the adhan at night, so you may eat and drink till Ibn Maktum pronounces the adhan, for the Fajr prayer." Hadīth 4. Narrated Abdullāh, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, led us in Zuhr prayer and prayed 5 rakat. Somebody asked him whether the prayer had been increased. He, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "And what is that?" They, the people, replied, "You have prayed 5 rakat." Then the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, offered 2 prostrations of Sahih, after he had finished his prayer with the taslim. Hadīth 5. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, finished his prayer after offering 2 rakat only. Dhul Yadayn asked him whether the prayer had been reduced, or he had forgotten. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Is Dhul Yadayn speaking the truth?" The people said, "Yes." Then Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, stood up and performed another 2 rakat and then finished prayer with taslim, and then said the takbir and performed a prostration similar to or longer than his ordinary prostrations. Then he raised his head, said takbir and prostrated, and then raised his head, Sahih prostrations. Hadīth 6. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, while the people were at Kaaba, offering the morning prayer, suddenly a person came to them saying, "Tonight divine inspiration has been revealed to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and he has been ordered to face the Kaaba in prayers, therefore you people should face it." Their faces were towards Sham, so they turned their faces towards the Kaaba at Makkah. Hadīth 7. Narrated Al-Barā, when Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, arrived at Medina, he prayed facing Jerusalem for 16 or 17 months, but he wished that he would be ordered to face the Kaaba. So Allah revealed, "Verily, we have seen the turning of your face towards the heaven, surely we shall turn you to a prayer direction, Qibla, that shall please you." Surah 2, Ayah 144. Thus he was directed towards the Kaaba. A man prayed the Asr prayer with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and then went out, and passing by some people from the Ansar, he said, "I testify that I have prayed with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and he, the Prophet, has prayed facing the Kaaba." Thereupon they, who were bowing in the Asr prayer, turned towards the Kaaba. Hadīth 8. Narrated Anas bin Malik, I used to offer drinks prepared from infused dates to Abu Talha al-Ansari, Abu Ubaidah bin al-Jarrah and Ubay bin Ka'b. Then a person came to them and said, "All alcoholic drinks have been prohibited." Abu Talha then said, "O Anas, get up and break all these jars." So I got up and took a mortar belonging to us, and hit the jars with its lower part till they broke. Hadīth 9. Narrated Hudayfah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said to the people of Najran, I will send to you an honest person who is really trustworthy. The companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, each desired to be that person, but the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sent Abu Ubaidah. Hadīth 10. Narrated on us, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, for every nation there is an Amin, honest, trustworthy person, and the Amin of this nation is Abu Ubaidah. Hadīth 11. Narrated Umar, there was a man from the Ansar, who was a friend of mine. If he was not present in the company of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, I used to be present with Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, I would tell him what I used to hear from Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and when I was absent from Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, he used to be present with him, and he would tell me what he used to hear from Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Hadīth 12. Narrated Ali, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sent an army and appointed some man their commander. The man made a fire and then said, to the soldiers, enter it. Some of them intended to enter it while some others said, we have run away from it, that is, embraced Islam to save ourselves from the fire. They mentioned that to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and he said about people who had intended to enter the fire, if they had entered it, they would have remained in it till the day of resurrection. Then he said to others, no obedience for evil deeds, obedience is required only in what is good. Hadīth 13. Narrated Abu Hurairah and Zayd bin Khalid, two men sued each other before the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Hadīth 14. Narrated Abu Hurairah, while we were with Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, a Bedouin got up and said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Settle my case according to Allah's book, laws. Then his opponent got up and said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. He has said the truth. Settle his case according to Allah's book, laws, and allow me to speak. He said, my son was a laborer for this man and he committed illegal sexual intercourse with his wife. The people told me that my son should be stoned to death, but I ransomed him with 100 sheep and a slave girl. Then I asked the religious learned people and they told me that his wife should be stoned to death and my son should receive 100 lashes and be sentenced to 1 year of exile. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, by him in whose hands my life is, I will judge between you according to Allah's book, laws, as for the slave girl and the sheep, they are to be returned, and as for your son, he shall receive 100 lashes and will be exiled for 1 year. You, O Unais, addressing a man from Bani Aslam, go tomorrow morning to the wife of this man, and if she confesses, then stone her to death. The next morning Unais went to the wife and she confessed, and he stoned her to death. Hadīth 15. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullāh, on the day of the Battle of the Trench, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, called the people, to bring news about the enemy. Az-Zubair responded to his call. He called them again and Az-Zubair responded to his call again, then he called them for the third time and again Az-Zubair responded to his call, whereupon the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, every Prophet has his Hawari, helper, and Az-Zubair is my Hawari. Hadīth 16. Narrated Abu Musa, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, entered a garden and told me to guard its gate. Then a man came and asked permission to enter. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, permit him and give him the good news that he will enter paradise. Behold! It was Abu Bakr. Then Umar came, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, admit him and give him the good news that he will enter paradise. Then Uthman came and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, admit him and give him the good news that he will enter paradise. Hadīth 17. Narrated Umar, I came and behold, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, was staying on a mashruba, attic room, and a black slave of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, was at the top of its stairs. I said to him, "Tell the Prophet, that here is Umar bin al-Khattab, asking for permission to enter." Then he admitted me. Hadith 18. Narrated Abdullāh bin Abbas, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, sent a letter to Khosrau and told his messenger to give it first to the ruler of Bahrain, and tell him to deliver it to Khosrau. When Khosrau had read it, he tore it into pieces. Az-Zubair said, I think Ibn al-Musayyab said, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, invoked Allah to tear them, Khosrau and his followers, into pieces. Hadith 19. Narrated Salamah bin al-Aqwa, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said to a man from the tribe of al-Aslam, proclaim among your people, or the people, on the day of Ashura, 10th of Muharram, whosoever has eaten anything should fast for the rest of the day, and whoever has not eaten anything, should complete his fast. Hadith 20. Narrated Ibn Abbas, when the delegate of Abd al-Qais came to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, he said, Who are the delegate? They said, The delegate are from the tribe of Rabi'ah. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Welcome, O the delegate, and welcome, O people. Neither you will have any disgrace nor will you regret. They said, O Allah's Apostle. Between you and us there are the infidels of the tribe of Mudar, so please order us to do something good, religious deeds, that by acting on them we may enter paradise, and that we may inform our people, whom we have left behind about it. They also asked the Prophet about drinks. He forbade them from 4 things and ordered them to do 4 things. He ordered them to believe in Allah, and asked them, Do you know what is meant by belief in Allah? They said, Allah and His Apostle know best. He said, To testify that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, the One, who has no partners with Him, and that Muhammad is Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and to offer prayers perfectly and to pay zakat. The narrator thinks that fasting in Ramadan is included, and to give 1/5 of the war booty to the state. Then he forbade 4 drinking utensils, ad-dubba, al-hantam, al-muzaffat and an-nakir, or probably al-mukayyar. And then the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Remember all these things by heart and preach it to those whom you have left behind. Hadith 21. Narrated Tawbah al-Anbari, Ash-Shu'abi asked me, Did you notice how al-Hasan used to narrate hadiths from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him? I stayed with Ibn Umar for about 2 or 1.5 years and I did not hear him narrating anything from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, except this hadith. He, Ibn Umar, said, Some of the companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, including Sa'd, were going to eat meat, but one of the wives of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, called them, saying, It is the meat of a mastigir. The people then stopped eating it. On that, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Carry on eating, for it is lawful. Or said, There is no harm in eating it, but it is not from my meals.